Life is a dance. There is music around you. Yet most people don't hear the music at all, and they never realize it's a dance in the first place. So some people see life as a problem to solve. Some see it as a race where you have to beat other people or you have to prove yourself. And then there's a small minority, but I have to tell you, these guys are rare. And these people, at a certain moment in their lives, they just stop and they start hearing the music around them. What does this mean? Well, let me tell you my story. For me personally, I've always been the disciplined guy, studying like a ton of studying, gym, reading, learning any skill I could, mastering everything, pursuing excellence every day. And this has been my life for many years, and it is still right now. But for a big period of my life, this became a very rigid way of living. What was once a curious pursuit became a sort of moral obligation I felt. And that is when I realized what I've told you in the beginning of the video. Life is a dance. It's not a race. It's not a problem to solve. And you don't live a great life when you try to prove yourself. You live a great life when you try to dance in the wildest way possible. And obviously, dancing is just a metaphor for letting life flow through you, for just living with intensity. Feeling the need to prove yourself comes from insecurity, while dancing with life can only come from true confidence. You can't just fake it, and that's why it feels so good. And that's why it's also so rare to notice it in people. Now, don't get me wrong, you need structure. Even the best life decays without structure. And in case you're asking yourself what structure is, it is simply a fancy word to indicate your routine, your workout plan, your diet, your productivity system. In other words, your discipline. Structure matters a ton. But the issue is, it shouldn't be the content of your life. Structure should only be the skeleton of your life, not your actual life, not your actual life experiences. When your life becomes your structure, you become shallow, which is not how you live a great life. And trust me, I talk out of experience. I know what being disciplined feels like, because I've always lived like that. And what I'm telling you is not to not be disciplined, it's just to know when to apply discipline in your life. A great life requires you structure that makes sure that you don't do stupid stuff that puts you away from your own potential. And then experiences, because in the end, life is made out of experiences. All the discipline you can have should serve you. You should not serve discipline. This is a key difference. You don't serve the ideal should serve you to achieve your goals, which for most people is just to live a great life. Because discipline, just like any other form of mindset, is only an instrument to achieve what you want. Because you've noticed this too. Most of our happiness comes from great moments when we were free to live the present moment, when we were free to dance, moments when we heard the music around us. A rule of thumb I'll give you is, when discipline prevents you from living cool experiences, there's something wrong. This is when discipline is not serving you, but you are serving discipline as an ideal, as an abstract ideal, which is far from your actual desired goal, which is to live a cool life. And before you stop me, doing cool things doesn't mean doing drugs. It simply means traveling, meeting people, spending time with the people you love, building something that is yours. If structure becomes your life experience, you lose your most human part. You stop hearing the music. So now the real question, how do you start hearing the music again? Well, it's actually quite simple. A rule of thumb I always have in my mind is, if something is a biological need of me as a human, discipline should not stop me from getting it. A couple of examples: exploring places, love, social connection. If discipline prevents you from getting one of these needs met, then it's not disciplined. You are not being disciplined. You are being ascetic. which is not how you live a great life. On the other hand, you need structure and you need to be disciplined when life tries to distract you from your own potential. When you see your trajectory is changing in a way that won't benefit you in the future and that will make it impossible for you in the future to live cool experiences, then it's time to add discipline and structure to your life. For example, it could be when you have only people around you who add only drama, hate or envy to your life, or any type of addiction, and also self-destructive patterns and self-destructive habits that will lead you to live a miserable life in the future. And this is the paradox. Sometimes in life, in order for you to keep hearing the music, you need to stop hearing it for a second. And that's when you have to be disciplined. You need to be disciplined where you are going in a trajectory that is going to make it impossible for you in the future to hear the music. Because if the highest goal of a human is to live a cool life, which is to dance with life, then the only time you need to be disciplined is when you notice you're not going in that direction. This is when you need structure. But in the end, life can be literally anything you want. It can also be competition, and you might compete as well. But my suggestion is to simply stop for a second and start hearing the music around you. Like when you were a kid and you simply didn't care. Start hearing the music again. Start dancing. Start enjoying the beauty of simply being alive. And as usual, guys, thank you for staying till the end. And in case you want more from me, you can check out my newsletter or my X, both the links are down below. And in case you want help one-on-one with me to help you apply all of these principles in your own life, then just comment the word flow down below in the comments or DM me the word flow on X and I'll just send you more details. And as usual, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.